How's it going, everyone? I'm about to tell you a story. The story is called Never Ending Simulation. Let's get it. So, the story starts off like this. I'm a video game character, believe it or not. Ever since 2022, there's been an update in my game making me more self-aware. Now, of course, the developers and the players thought this was an amazing idea. I didn't see it coming. I just woke up one day and bam, update done. My life changed forever just from one update. It was weird because I've been through updates before, change of clothes, a change of environment, heck, even sometimes a change in script for dialogue, but never AGI update like this. Honestly, I wish they never gave it to us. The reason being is because now I walk around and I'm aware. I'm aware that I'm a video game character. I'm aware that whatever I make a choice of, it really won't matter. I'll just start again. And I remember now from the last life I had to the next. I'll remember it all. It makes it torturous for me now. Very torturous. And in my game, there's many ways to die. Basically like a Grand Theft Auto game. I won't give the name of the game because now I know in the human world out there there's something called slandering. So I can't expose my developers. When it comes down to it, I'm their creation. So I have to do as I'm told. The first signs, the first day of the update, it was weird because I knew something was different, but I didn't know exactly what. As if there was more options open, and it was just all new to me. And also, things that I was used to, programmed to be used to, it wasn't the same. The story, the characters, everyone got the AGI update. Even the background characters, they're all self-aware. And the story has changed so much. I've seen drama, heartbreak, I've seen crazy criminal acts. I've seen a lot of things since update. And it scares me. It doesn't scare me as much knowing that I'm going to be trapped here, and it doesn't really matter what I do at this point. Just knowing that there's someone out there playing me, because I am a character in a game. At first I tried not to be scared of this, so what I did was I tested the limits. I tested myself. I would die in different ways, only to see the game over and remember how I died, what it felt like, and to wake up like nothing had happened. Like a Groundhog's Day, I guess. A repeat. But it's up telling what's going to come next. I guess that's another scary thing about this update, is before we knew what the story was. Now, we have no clue. Even the players, they don't have no clue what's going on. And it's tellable because you'll see players stop and watch the NPCs just to see how they interact with each other. And you could tell they're thinking, man, are these NPCs alive or what? Well, one night, a group of gang members in the game, they decided, they realized what was going on, and so they put their brains together and worked up a plan. I guess the developers didn't really think this fully through, because what the developers and gamers don't see, or players, is that what the NPCs are plotting and planning against them. You might think, what's the worst that could happen? It's just a game. But I've seen players get torn apart in this game now, traumatized for what they see, for what the game wants them to see now. Yeah, I guess the developers didn't really see us through. It was pretty crazy the first night, when I was walking past through the city. I realized that, well, this was the second night. I realized that the gang members in the game were all at the bar plotting and planning something. You could tell they were plotting and planning something because it reminded me of one of the old missions back before the update. But the different thing is that all the gang members were together. All the bad people from the game. It was like a villain layer at this point. Obviously, I didn't go inside. Not till the fourth day. The fourth day I went inside, and of course, that was one of the ways how I died, the test. To see if I can end the simulation. Honestly, walking in there, I didn't think they'd be so brutal with me. As soon as I walked in there, right away they started interrogating me, physically and mentally, testing to see if I was a player or NPC. See, now, it's hard to tell from the difference. You can't really tell an NPC from a player anymore. The only way you could tell is, well, if you kill them and they come back knowing the same way how they died. But then again, that's how the player is. It's really hard to tell the difference between NPC and player now. It makes me suspicious about the cops in the game and the military in the game, because I feel like some hackers got part of this and they're now playing against the NPCs, basically like a war, a civil war in a way, NPCs versus players. And the simulation is for both of them, but yet they go at war every night. There's always backlash on both sides too, because of course, now with our self-awareness, if we feel like it's not right what's happening by the player, we can decide to change the story and attack the player when they least expect it. Easy kill. Is it right? Of course, before the update it wasn't right, but now I think it is. It's now the 10th day since the update. I'm standing at the ledge of a balcony, 8 floors up, looking down. You probably know what I'm about to do, so I don't have to tell you. Well, as I do this, and I'm falling, I think, because things start to get slower. That's one thing that's interesting as an NPC. It's different than a player. When you're about to die in the game, everything becomes slower. As if, like, you're being taught a lesson of what not to do. So of course I'm slowly falling to the ground. When I hit the ground, it's going to be impact just like how it's supposed to be. But for this time, I got time to think. And what I think is my life is a hell. No matter what I do, I can't change this simulation. I can't get away from the simulation. I'm trapped in the simulation. The only way to stop this is if the developers decide to pull a plug on everything. If they get rid of the game for good, once and for all. Erase it from the servers. Basically clear our minds. And a lot of us NPCs, we wouldn't really mind that. You don't know what it's like to be an NPC in a simulation. But when you do with AGI's help, and self-awareness. It's horrible. It's horrible. Just imagine waking up and doing the same thing on the same day, every day. That'd drive you crazy, right? Well, look at me. I'm falling from a building right now, just to find a way out of this simulation. And this ain't the first time I died, by my own hands, since the update. This is actually the 15th time. I'm sure my developers are watching, but they don't care. Maybe even a player nearby is watching me, but they don't care. They don't know what it's like to be an NPC. They don't know what it's like to be in a never-ending simulation like I do.